Good afternoon and welcome to Cardiff for the Netball Europe Open Championships. We have live coverage of every match across social media as well as BBC Sport. So what a start to the day we've had here on day 3 at Sport Wales National Centre. This morning we saw Northern Ireland in action against Fiji, and Northern Ireland defeated the guest team 46-58. So we're just moments away from our next game, which sees Wales and Scotland go head-to-head. I'm Zara Buck, and joining me in the commentary booth, I'm delighted to welcome England head coach Tracy Neville.
Hi Zara, how are you doing?
Yeah, very well. Very excited about this game.
Yeah, I think there looks a bit of tension, a little bit of nerves. Obviously, Wales probably didn't have the start to the tournament that they wanted, obviously losing to Northern Ireland. So this is a massive game for Wales to come away with a victory. But the up-and-coming Scotland is, they've really developed over the tournament. They obviously played us yesterday morning, the England squad, and they probably had the best result against England they've had in a long time. So they're coming in on a high, and Wales are probably coming on a little bit of a low. So I think this game will be a really good contest.
Wales, of course, will want them to be impressing in front of a home crowd here today. Tracy, these are top international players on court. I mean, what a sight for the fans at home. How impressive is the standard here?
Oh, I think you've seen how these countries have tried to move on their netball programs and obviously develop as athletes, and they're working diligently to be able to do that, and you've seen that with the the rankings moving up. Wales now have moved into the 7th ranked place, which is really well done to Wales, because it is really hard to move up rankings. And I think the standard of competition, I think, is excellent. I think they're really putting out some really good netball, but more importantly, I think there's some really great individual players within this tournament, and obviously having Fiji in here as well, I think that's really added to the different creative styles of the actual competition, so it adds a little bit more excitement to the supporters as well.
Absolutely. Well, we're just about to wait for both teams to go on court, so let's have a look at the team we have. So Wales, Tracy.
Yeah, probably a start that we probably didn't expect. We've obviously got goal shooter Rowe, we've got goal attack Llewellyn, wing attack is Dyke, centre is Kyra Jones, wing defence is Susie Drain and captain of the Welsh squad, goal defence is Nia Jones, and goalkeeper is Christina Shaw. For the Scotland team, a predictable lineup for them, and the team that obviously played well against England is Bethan Goodwin at the goal shooter. Goal attack is Lindsay Gallagher. On that wing attack role is Nicola McCleary. Centre and captain Claire Brownie. On that wing defence position is that Samantha Murphy. Goal defence is Emily Nicole, and the goalkeeper, a very experienced, is Hayley Mulheron.
So the Scotland team, we've got a mixture of experienced players, and we've got some up-and-coming players, like you say, Bethan Goodwin. She's been fantastic so far in this competition.
Yeah, and it was really nice for me to get out and watch the Netball Europe Under-21s back in April, and she was definitely an up-and-coming shining youngster and really caused a few problems at that competition. So to see her walk into this senior squad and how do I say, look experienced, and that for a youngster is a real credit to her, and probably the hard work that Gail Parata, and obviously they've got experienced goal shooting coach Leslie Redbone on that bench, has probably given her a little bit of insight as well. So yeah, it's really exciting to see her out on court.
What a fantastic stage for these young and up-and-coming players to come out here and play against some of the top international netball women. So we're just waiting for our umpires to come out onto the court and blow the whistle. Lots of atmosphere here. The crowds are very excited for Scotland to face Wales here. So our umpires today, we've got Louise Travis and Sarah Watts. So Team White do such a great job at these events, and we're so grateful for them.
Oh yeah, and these are two of probably our most, some of our experienced umpires in English netball, and you can tell that they've actually put them onto this game because they know how important it is to one of these teams to win today.
And we're underway in the first quarter. Good McCleary there. Great start for Scotland. Good win, as we were just talking about.
Yeah, probably Wales losing their first centre pass is probably not how they wanted to start this game. But now, they've got to put that pressure on Scotland. I think one of the most important things, and probably the pleasurable things I saw about Scotland in their game yesterday and strengths, was the way they were willing to keep recycling that ball to create options, but also to maintain possession. And you see the world's best do that, and that's something that Scotland did really well on Friday against the England team.
Yeah, another great shot from Scotland. Gallagher there. And for Wales, Jones finds Drain, captain.
Yep, Drain, probably the most senior member of this Welsh squad, and she's been around a long time, and she put out an absolute star-studded performance on Friday against Northern Ireland, and just unfortunately one of the crucial shots at the end of the game to obviously get that draw just didn't happen for them. And that is the difference with the experience and inexperience within your international teams.
Wales just trailing by 1 goal in this first quarter. I have a feeling it's going to be quite a close one, just from these first few minutes of this quarter.
Yeah, that feed, obviously McCleary in that wing attack position really causes some problems, and the way she does it is, they really play the ball a lot along the floor into them shooters, and that is quite hard for big rangy defenders to get down onto the floor.
Llewellyn finds Jones.
I think Llewellyn's another player, Zara, that we probably need to talk about. Another one who probably was the key standout for the Wales under-21 team at the World Youth in Botswana, and obviously at the Netball Europe. She looks like she's gone away from Botswana and really mean business, because she looks more physically fit, she looks more mental, and look at it for a youngster. You've got a senior player on the belts like Chelsea Lewis, who's making a massive impact in the English Super League, and she's taking that number 1 goal attack position, which again, another exciting opportunity for some of these youngsters coming through.
Definitely Super League set to start in a few months' time. We've got Wales, a lot of those players on court playing for Celtic Dragons, and then the same for Scotland, playing for Sirens. Do you think there's a reason behind these players playing for close to home Super League teams?
Yeah, I think obviously speaking to some of the Welsh delegates, they're going with an all Welsh team this year in the Super League, and that'll be really important for Trish Wilcox in the build-up for the Commonwealth Games. In respect to Sirens, they're going down a little bit of a different route. They're bringing in some inexperienced players, and I think they can work both one of two ways. I think the experienced players can up the standard and intensity of your environment, but also with Wales, you can develop more relationships on court, building in what a preparation for them building in. So I think there's positives and negatives for both teams, and it'd be who actually responds better to their preparation.
Absolutely. Commonwealth Games happening on the Gold Coast next year. Ball just hits the net. So Scotland 4, Wales 2. Lovely goal from the goal shooter for Wales.
I think that's one of the strengths of the Welsh team, and I hope they maximise in this game, is that height of Georgia Rowe in that goal shooting position. And Hayley Mulheron is probably one of their tallest defenders, and they could really capitalise on this game.
Really coming into her stride yesterday, Mulheron. In the last quarter, just
it's interesting, the two different styles. They're playing it along the floor, Scotland, and obviously Wales are playing the more aerial ball. So it's quite nice to see the two styles in the shooting circle.
Wales, did they come in here with a game plan against Scotland, do you think?
Oh, 100%. That Trish Wilcox had the option of obviously started experienced shooter Chelsea Lewis to play a more rotational game, or to look at the real strong height of Georgia Rowe in there. And I probably would have said that is probably the strength to play against Scotland, just looking at you know, obviously the height difference between the two defenders from Scotland, and I think one of the challenges for Scotland would be is who is going to start in that goal shooter position, and that is always a question for a coach. Do you play an off mark or do you play a more rotational? And that has changed, but I'm sure I'll expect the change to happen during this game.
Both coaches have a fantastic bench there to, you know, a plethora of players to choose from. So we've had 5 minutes of this first quarter. Georgia Rowe are levelling the game here, just trailing behind Scotland. Brownie, a very experienced player. Brownie, of course, captain as well for Scotland.
What a great reposition from Brownie to the top there, just to open up that triangle into the circle, and they do that so well, Scotland, in respect to accessing the space to their shooters. I think that's what worked really well for the England squad against Scotland, was you saw then the way Bethan Dyke just changed the angle of the play, you know, to keep creating the different position of the defenders, making them work harder. And I think they got caught on Thursday just trying to play down the same line all the time, and that's where they got caught out. So it looks like Trish has done some real good work with her squad just to try and get them moving that ball around against this Scottish team.
Getting some creative play, some lovely passages of play for Scotland. Just
some misunderstanding there by Gallagher, and
nice ball cross court to drain from Nia Jones. And again, really using the court.
Yeah, definitely. I think, again, Wales want to stop being caught all going onto the same side of the court, and we saw there with Jones, Dyke and Llewellyn being caught on that right-hand side. But, you know, Llewellyn, you know, young and experienced, knows, open up the court, bring your shooter out, let's work the ball in. And you've seen two, you know, great examples of them doing that and getting that ball easily.
7-all here. A close quarter so far. Mulheron and Llewellyn, great battle in the D. Llewellyn and Georgia Rowe shoots for Wales.
So Zara, who do you think is going to win this game?
It's early to say, but I think Scotland could just edge it. What are your thoughts, Tracy, on this?
I think, looking at performance, I think Scotland should come away with the win. However, for the competition, I think I would like Wales to win, because then tomorrow will be, you know, a real good challenge for our England girls against Wales, and a really good game between Scotland and Northern Ireland. And I think that's what viewers want to see. They want to see, you know, them neck and neck games. And for us, for our England squad and the players that we've actually brought to this competition, you know, I want them as in much pressure scenarios as they can. And a Wales team that's gunning for the, you know, a competition second place and world ranking points is a far better team for them to play against.
Yeah, Nats Pepperell, speaking to her yesterday, the under-21 head coach for Wales, saying exactly that. You know, Wales are here to at least get that silver, and like you say, you know, fantastic preparation, training ground for England and for all teams here.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, you know, I think you want to create pressure scenarios, you want to build pressure, you want to put these players in day out competition, and the only way you can do that is make sure that every single performance that you play counts. So actually, in a way, I would, you know, for the, like I say, for the competition, it would be Wales.
Wales ranked 7th in the world, the team's highest ever place in the INF World Rankings, facing a Scotland team who are 12th. but ranking points are at stake here. And Scotland just edging this first quarter to 10 goals. Just under 5 minutes to go.
Attacking contact, Sarah. Obviously deemed that Bethan Dyke had obviously made contact with that wing defence, and I think that's one of the things that I've seen the umpires are not happy about in this competition, particularly just how they're managing their body, and a lot of it is getting off the body early, prepping early, and that's something that I think all players could probably learn from this competition.
Just felt the pressure then, just released the ball too early then, Scotland.
Yeah, and Parata was absolutely fuming on the bench there, shouting at her team. What a great way to get ahead of the guests going into that first quarter and that first quarter break.
Just Wales perhaps a slightly more composed side.
Yeah, but it seems like the young guns at the moment are making a few of the mistakes on this court, but the experienced ones are there to try and win that ball back.
Llewellyn gave it a good go, and Mulherrin takes it from the back line. Brownie, just the way she cuts back and she looks behind as well as in front. She's got great vision on the court, and she seems to steady the pace as a centre, would do.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. We call it the game face. She never looks panicked if there's no options available, and that's something I probably noticed as a talent when I watched her in the under-21s competition back in Botswana and obviously at the Netball Europe. So I can understand why Trish Wilcox has actually brought her into this senior side.
Georgia Rowe takes it to 10 goals, so it's 10-all here with 3 minutes left. High ball. Lovely.
That's the match-winning feeds that they need to do by Kyrie Jones. She's used to, from her past, feeding that tall shooter, and Georgia Rowe needs to get her hands on that and nail that shot, because that did cost Wales on Thursday night against Northern Ireland.
Lovely stuff from Brownie there again. Yes, just moments like that, like you say, from Wales. It could have been one up. Good win.
With only 2 minutes 18 left on the clock here, Zara, I think it'll be interesting to see if Parata makes any changes. I think she made quite a number of changes. She obviously is an impact coach. She's got some really great players and great adaptations of styles on that bench, and it'll be interesting to see whether she feels that she needs to make an impact in this game. At the moment, I feel that the 7 on court are doing a relatively good job, but like I say, she does like to change things up a bit. So and the key changes that she made against us was obviously replacing McCleary at wing attack, and obviously bringing Ella Gibbons onto that goal defence role as well, to bring a bit of height in the circle, which they might need during this game.
Umpire just speaking to Georgia Rowe.
That's 2 mistakes in a row from Rowe, and
a potential.
What a fast break from Wales there.
Oh, they'll be disappointed with that, trailing behind Scotland by 2 goals.
And we all love a second chance on that. They were very fortunate then. You think to yourself there, with such a height of Rowe in that circle, ball lands on the edge. That's where an opportunity for a shooter just to prop and get that ball nailed up into that high position.
Credit to Mulherrin there for really defending against Georgia Rowe. Oh, lovely ball into Goodwin.
That was absolutely class from Brownie. Sight the forward, draw all the defenders, and then maximise the opportunity of the shooter positioning in the circle.
Wales will want to level with Scotland if they can. Going into the second quarter, can they do it? Georgia Roll holding. Third time's the charm.
A really important centre pass from Scotland here. 15 seconds on the clock.
Gallagher.
Important shot here from... and Goodwin nails that. Prior 4 seconds on the clock. I think this is something I noticed from Team White during the game. You know, I think experienced umpires stopping that clock straight away, maximising every single second of this game.
It's crucial for those seconds. And it's 14-12. Scotland lead by 2 goals. So, Tracy, if you were Trish right now, what would you be doing? What would you be changing?
I think the main thing for me now is there's a couple of things that Wales really need to clean up in this game. One is some of their opportunities, and you can see she's the first thing she's done is when she's come off the court is go to obviously Rowe, asking her for more clarity on her position and angle in the circle, so stepping up onto that defender. The second thing is to settle on the shot, and the third thing is just, you know, when she is distributing that ball, they'll probably maximise where she wants to distribute that ball to get that ball back, and it looks like she went straight to that player to do that, and I think if they tidied that up, I think they should remain with that same team. I think the other thing that can really help with this, and one thing that we say to our England centre court, is the way they handle the ball, the way they throw the ball can actually increase the pressure or decrease the pressure on the shooters, you know, moving the ball around, creating better angles into the circle. So I think that is something that is really crucial for them. It'd be interesting to see whether Wales as well say to their defenders, you know, there's 2 different styles of game here. One's playing aerial, one's playing on the floor, and I think what Goodwin really likes is that front position, because you know, can we force it into that back position, which we started to do England netball on Friday morning, and you know, we started to get a little bit more turnover because that is a position she doesn't want to do. In respect to Parata from the Scotland bench, I really do think I would probably maintain the 7 that's on, but like I say, she does have a couple of impact players on their bench that she could actually use, and she might think of using that. Obviously Ella Gibbons coming onto that goal defence role, which is something that she likes to change, and obviously replacing McCleary in that wing attack. But at the moment I feel that they're moving the ball around, they're creating great triangles into the circle, and the only thing I'd say they needed to sharpen up is in that defensive circle. What they want to do is get Georgia out. We know she's quite vulnerable on that pass, and the only way they can do that is keeping everybody pushing them all high and wide. So if their defence did that, bring Georgia Rowe out and then stop any other option, and the likely option that she's probably going to be vulnerable on is that swing across the circle, as we saw, and I think that's the one we should start to force with the Wales team. So
Georgia Rowe just didn't seem to perhaps have her eye in. There was a couple of moments, you know, we had a couple of, you know, missed shots. How is that going to, you know, affect her mentally for the rest of the game?
I think she's a young up-and-coming shooter. She's a shooter that's developing quite late, and I do think these opportunities are great learning opportunities for her. And I always say with a shooter, she might miss that once, but she'll never miss that again, and they learn from that. And I think to come out here and start the game as she had is a real positive for her, and hopefully she can build on that as they go through this particular game.
The players take to the court for the second quarter. Umpires just about to join. So Scotland leading by 2 goals. It's very close. It's been a very, very close first quarter, and I'm excited to see what is to come. Just a little bit of a wait here. Crowd cheering, waiting for their players to start.
And a change for Wales in that goal defence position, with Jones obviously moving to the bench to wing defence, and they're bringing on Davis, young up and coming 21 defender, to that goal defence position. I do understand the reason for that change. I think obviously we talked about keeping them away from the circle, stopping them triangle balls, and I always think Davis is a very dogged defender and probably can do a little bit of a tighter mark on the Scotland goal attack of Gallagher.
Into Llewellyn, little fake pass there. Well read by Georgia Rowe. Great start for Wales. Slowly edging the gap to McCleary, to Gallagher, to Goodwin.
And we talked about that ball side position, and that's something Shaw really needs to start working her feet and getting round, and really trying to force Goodwin into that back over position.
Christina Shaw for Wales as well, received her first cap here at the Netball Europe Open Championships. Another young and up-and-coming player.
It looks like Parata just did what we said. They got Georgia Rowe out into that deep position, and you know they obviously created a turnover for themselves, and well done to that Scottish unit in enabling that to happen.
We've obviously had good words in that quarter break. Oh, well picked up by Gallagher. That finishes the job. Brownie to McCleary. Great play by Scotland.
I think Goodwin was more intent on whether she'd repossess that ball instead of concentrating on just holding that and shooting that up. If you look at the comparisons between the two shooters, Georgia Rowe, you know, who takes off a shooter that's shooting at 100%, 11 from 11 is absolutely outstanding. I think the interesting stat for me is Goodwin, 4 from 5, probably one of the key shooters in our England game, probably took on most of the shooting. So obviously Wales have done their own work and are trying to make Gallagher shoot, but Gallagher 10 from 10, 100% at this level. That's absolutely excellent shooting.
Wales just 2 goals behind Scotland.
And I really do think that Wales could do a little bit more of that from Dyke and Llewellyn. You know, that early ball into circle where, you know, Mulholland, she's looking for ball out that circle, head down, get that ball over. That's where they need to maximise these opportunities.
Very close between the two teams here at the Sport Wales National Centre. Scotland's just slightly in head. Into Rowe.
Rowe seems to have come to life in this quarter, so I think Trish give her a little bit of confidence. You know, the first person we said she went to on the bench, really give that confidence and ability that you can actually do this. Probably recognise some of the strengths that she's doing in the game, the fact that, you know, get that aerial ball, get that ball, shoot it in with confidence. You are the main target, you know, and just create some opportunities for these feeders from the Welsh squad. And Kia Jones, that was excellent from her, working round the body.
Gallagher holding extremely well there. Finishes the job. Long ball. Brilliant from Llewellyn there. Just perfect timing. And she goes again.
Gives her a little bit more time to settle on that shot.
So just those couple of extra seconds there to gain her balance. Umpires, like you said, just making sure everything is tip-top there. Straight into Goodwin. I know, second quarter.
Never, you know, we know Gallagher shooting at 10 from 10, you'd never want to give her that rebound position, and that's something Wales need to work harder at.
She'll be disappointed with that. Scotland, can Goodwin.
The first caution of the game from Jones. Obviously going offside purposely, it's deemed purposeful by the umpire.
Great ball to wing defence. And Scotland 21, Wales 17, just under 10 minutes left of the second quarter. Scotland have just slightly edged away from Wales. It was close, but there's still not much in it. Wales is still in this game.
You do think to yourself, Sarah, what impact, you know, they've obviously just decided to put a captain to the bench, and this is a game of great determination and a little bit of and you question sometimes whether sometimes it's worth just leaving your captain on for a little bit longer.
Jones, great cross court again, lovely fake ball, Fern Davis. Yep, turned over by Scotland.
And that's what Nicole does really well. I think Wales did really well to start recycling the ball, but the angle that Llewellyn run on is Nichols', you know, bread and butter, and you know that's when they win the ball back, and that's now took them to 22-17, Scotland ahead.
Scotland centre pass to Goodwin. Brilliant stuff here in Cardiff. The host team Wales just trailing behind. Llewellyn's there.
Brownie not liking that contact. She felt that Dyke ran into her.
Wales need this. Georgia Rowe just trying to get through those defenders.
That's where you want Georgia Rowe to shoot from.
Yeah.
Scotland have done really well there, putting her in them low percentage shooting areas.
Herring really.
Oh, what an excellent inset from Brownie. Such experience and class coming through on that. A little bit of cheeky fake there from Gallagher.
Goodwin again, propping it.
What great momentum from Scotland taking this game 24-17.
And defence is there. Just tipped the fingers of Llewellyn. She gave it a good go there. Just misread there in the D.
And frustration from the Scotland bench.
Missed opportunities.
They really do. Wales need to look to that circle early. You've got Mulholland and Nichol in the back trying to really take ball off them in that goal third, and you've got a post-up shooter.
Excellent interception there. Wales struggling a little bit to get through that D.
Brownie clapping her hands there at that wasted opportunity, and it's now becoming a little bit of a table tennis game.
Okay, Wales need to use this now, just taking their time, taking it down the court slowly. Oh.
I think this is the break that Wales needed. I think they just need to reset.
Come on, Scotland!
Giroux out of the circle. Llewellyn perfectly there. And great stuff from Wales. Giroux again, fighting with Mulheron. Jones.
Giroux's timing's a little bit slightly out at the moment. You're finding that she's coming out a little bit too early, when just wait, and only be coming out when there's no other option available at the moment. Like I say, I think Wales need her in that shooting circle.
Oh, Scotland just slightly rushing there. Great work there between Llewellyn and Rowe. Just under 5 minutes left here. Just 4 goals between Wales and Scotland. They've got 4 minutes. Can they do it? Can Wales level with Scotland in this second quarter?
7-goal lead Scotland had. Just a couple of wasted opportunities has got Wales back in this game. But what a great spectacle for netball this is, Sarah.
It's fantastic stuff. World class. Right under the post, Rowe was. And that atmosphere here, Tracy, as well.
Yeah.
Everyone getting behind.
Well, you would like to say that this crowd will be Wales' 8th player here.
Absolutely.
Probably can gain you another 3 or 4 goals on that scoreboard. Oh.
Suddenly, Wales on a mission here. Great vision from Llewellyn there. Needs to get in that D. Wales just 2 goals behind Scotland now.
Yeah, and you see the joy on the crowd faces. Rowe nails that shot.
It's so close again. Umpires just changing balls.
Not quite sure why. Yeah,
as you mentioned, Gibbons on.
Yeah, I thought that would happen.
Let's see how much of an impact she can make in these last 3 minutes.
And an impact player for Loughborough Lightning this year in the Super League. And one thing I've really noticed about her is her communication and the way she talks to the players, and I think that's the energy at the moment Scotland need to maintain this 3-goal difference. Oh, that must be Gallagher's first miss of the game, and what a pressure time to do that.
It's these moments, these last few moments. Back to Jones. Oh, it's so close and exciting here.
Giroux just needs to hold that position. She's drifting at the moment. Oh,
yeah, she's disappointed and shaking her head.
Oh, a dislike call by the spectators from Travis on Mulheron. She deemed that Rowe contacted. A questionable decision from the umpire there, I must say. But Watts gets Wales that ball back again, another contact. I think there's too much overexcitement here from both teams, and they just probably need to maintain a little bit of momentum here.
There's still time. Wales just 2 goals behind now.
Scotland leading 25 to Wales 23 with 1 minute 13 left on that clock. A crucial goal here.
Moments. Wales will not be happy with that.
Dyke. And we see these as possibly coach killers when your wing attack goes offside at a crucial time. Oh,
lovely. Just 40 seconds left. Umpire just having a word with the captain Brownie and the wing attack for Wales. Tracy, what do you think she's saying there?
Obviously she's asked both captains to bring their squad in. We are seeing a little bit more physical, a little bit of lateness on the body. We've seen quite numerous contacts, so I'm presuming that Watts is wanting the teams just to calm down a little bit here and just gain a little bit of body management on this court, which we're probably not seeing. But these are pressure games. This is where the excitement crowds want to see all this. Oh,
excellent rebound from Christina Shaw there for Wales. 20 seconds left. Wales giving it their all. Davies.
I love pressure time scenarios, and Trish Wilcox will probably be urging Wales to score.
Everyone. And that is the end of the second quarter. Woo!
And frustration on Kyra Jones, and I think this is something that this competition probably need to sharpen up on, and we saw this in our first game against Scotland. The recognition that the umpire has called time, and then the score table actually stopping the actual time on the scoreboard, and there's probably 5 lost seconds in every single time that the umpire is doing, and we have actually notified Netball Europe of that, because that's 5 seconds that Kyra Jones rightly so said, and Claire Brownie in our game, that actually anyone can score a goal in 5 seconds, and that is a wasted opportunity for them,
especially at this level.
Drain is obviously having a conversation with Travis and Watts about some scenarios that are happening within that game, so it'd be interesting to see what she actually wants clarification on, that she feels that Wales are doing and adhering to the rules, and the umpires are deeming them not.
The same situation again here, the second quarter. As the first quarter, Wales were just a few goals behind from Scotland. Again, what changes can be made?
I think this is one of them games, and I was talking to our coaches about that yesterday, that one change also was taking Drain to the bench. Did that mean that then Wales lost their 2-goal lead that they went into that quarter for? And you have to be really, and it's them critical changes by that coach that can actually impact the score. So I would say the probably key change for Wales, if Trish wanted to change things up a little bit, would be to obviously bring Chelsea Lewis on. And obviously we've seen Chelsea Lewis through the Super League, and obviously in this competition either playing at that goal attack position with Rowe behind, or in that goal shooter position with Llewellyn out in front, which was actually probably a key combination in that Fiji victory. In respect to Scotland, I would, whether she does decided to take McCleary off and obviously bring on their other obviously wing attack option, which is something that we've seen Parata do through this, so that could be a possible change. But I think this is just momentum at the moment. I don't think there's any individual player on that court that's actually underperforming Sarah. I think it's more, Scotland had the momentum, and then just a couple of mistakes by them got them Wales back into this game, and I think if they tidied up them particular mistakes, then they would actually be successful.
Well, it's been a close game so far. World Cup qualifiers, as we know, are coming up in January of next year. England have qualified. Wales and Scotland will be fighting it out for those last 2 places.
Yeah, and I think this competition is great preparation for them, and you know, losing to Northern Ireland, a team that probably statistically they've not lost to in considerably quite a long time, is probably not the confidence that Trish Wilcox wanted for her squad going into their World Cup qualifier. However, sometimes that can actually work in your favour. So, you know, and you never actually see what's actually happening behind the scenes, and you never know, you know, with Trish Wilcox, who does she actually have her eye on in this tournament? Who does she want to really work on? Which team does she really want to try and get that victory against? And I think that, and you can, when you do that as a coach, lose sight of some of the other teams that are actually improving. Northern Ireland obviously bringing in some of their experienced players back into the fold with obviously Nolene in that goal defence position. Obviously you saw a transition to that goal shooter position, and so I think, you know, you could have lost sight of that coming into this competition, but I think Trish will want to take this win today, as Parata would, obviously building into that qualifiers. But I think the exciting thing for me is that, you know, the door's open, anything can happen, and it's so unlucky that one of our home nations, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, just misses out on that opportunity at a World Cup in Liverpool, you know. And yeah, I think that is obviously really disappointing for England netball, because I'd want to see all 3 of them coaches in that, on teams in that competition.
As we can see there, the Welsh mascot goes by the name of Dewey. Don't forget, you can send Tracy and I your messages on Twitter using the hashtag NEOpen. We would love to hear from you and your thoughts throughout the game. Are you a Wales supporter, or are you a Scotland Thistle supporter? Like many people here in the crowd today supporting their teams. Paige Stalker says, "Let's go Scotland, Scottish Thistles." We've got some more here.
Looking at the Scotland team coming back to the bench, Sarah, I don't see or note at the moment any changes. So obviously Parata has got all the confidence of her team going into this 3rd quarter, just to maintain momentum. I think the key thing that I would be saying to this Scotland team is that they, you know, the capitalisation of their turnovers, I think they are gaining possession of the ball, and it's just about maintaining it going through and probably looking at more their final ball into that shooting circle, which we saw a couple of instances where they threw that ball away.
As a coach, you just mentioned one thing there. What else would you be saying, you know, to really stay calm and keep, you know, under pressure?
I think the 1st quarter we saw that, you know, Goodwin probably looking at increasing her opportunities to go. She's probably one of the main shooters. Gallagher's obviously been found out a little bit more now, so, you know, just how they can get a little bit more shot selection from Goodwin. I think Brownie as well. I think the impact we saw in that 1st quarter of her, you know, her hard work in that defensive position, taking ball, but also the work that she was doing and repositioning around that circle edge. I think, you know, Scotland could probably do a little bit more of that. In respect to that Welsh team, you know, they've come out of that last quarter with the momentum and how they can build on that. It'd be good if Trish Wilcox now just used a little bit of a strategy to actually get them back into that game. And we've seen with the Welsh team, you know, Goodwin did take on a lot more opportunities than that, but from getting 9 from 13 shots on goal. But look at this from the Welsh team, you know, 6 from 6 from Georgia Roll, still sitting on 100%, but she's probably 5 opportunities further down. And we talked a lot about Georgia Roll being a little bit more dominant in that circle and staying in that circle. And you saw as the pressure went on, she started to move a little bit. So I'll probably be telling her, you know, keep put, hold your position and wait for that. Key change as well.
Just noticed that as well.
For that Welsh team, obviously Chelsea Lewis coming onto that goal attack, and I would have made that change myself as well. So Trish Wilcox obviously wanting to see and get a little bit more height in that shooting circle.
All to play for here as we go into the third quarter. Chelsea Lewis there, first touch for Wales.
I think we can't lose sight. Oh, yeah, confident shot from Chelsea Lewis in that circle.
Great start for Wales. Gibbons there as well. Brownie to Gallagher to Brown. Great work there between the centre and the goal attack.
And obviously we see that Susie Drain, captain, has gone to centre position as well, and Kyra Jones gone to the bench.
Why do you think that change has been made, Tracy?
I think Trish will probably want her captain on court, but at the moment I probably agree with her here that Davis and Jones are doing a very good job in that wing defence and goal defence position. So I do think a bit of more experience in that centre position.
Georgia Rowe recovered that.
Quite a lot of respect from her players. Oh. Something she hasn't quite adapted for Watts. Watts is not liking the way that Rowe is moving in respect to the contact, and she got pinged a few times in that first quarter.
Goodwin just puts it in for Scotland. 13 minutes left of this quarter. 25-29. Excellent shot from Goodwin there. Oh, bit of a leapfrog there. Chelsea Lewis struggling. Back to Jones.
Oh. You just see that, Chelsea Lewis, probably a high percentage shooter. She's in a shooting opportunity and she just needs to put that shot up. Probably one of the greatest shooters in the Super League, and that's what that's what Trish Wilcox wants to see.
She does just that for Wales. 4 goals behind Scotland. Oh, great stuff from Gallagher.
Great cut to the middle there from Gallagher, and just that 1-2 into the circle.
Second chance here.
Oh, another coach killer, as we like to say. Centre pass, no need to come over the line early.
Disappointing move there.
Interesting to see the momentum building. Scotland come off that bench firing against Wales, and Wales almost seem to have that little bit of a sluggish start.
Hines intercepted.
Young gun Davis comes through and takes that ball.
Fantastic work there.
She's been outstanding since she's come on that court, Davis. And you've seen that from the opportunities that Gallagher's had. We talk about opportunities. She had 10 in that first quarter, and Davis has put her back to 4 opportunities. So that's what you want from your goal defence.
Great vision there.
Yeah.
Little tap from Gibbons there. Georgia Rowe scores for Wales.
Oh. I think that was the right decision from Lewis. I think the pace of the ball probably could have been a little bit more on it. However, she did get the contact.
Wales still in this.
I do think the options have opened up for Wales in that attacking and bringing Lewis on. I think they've got a little bit more of a target to throw at. But I do feel at the moment that Scotland have got the momentum of this game.
Lewis bringing out her player and then driving back in, would you say, Tracy?
Yeah, I think what Lewis is offering in this game is she's playing a little bit deeper towards that circle, in that circle, and it's creating, I say, the probably deeper option, which is obviously a strength. We obviously played against Scotland, and, you know, at the moment, Scotland are not quite confident, you know, marking overload, as we call it, an overload of that goalkeeper.
Gallagher staying on the edge of the D, holding. Scotland fans here at the Sport Wales National Centre getting behind the leaders of this third quarter.
And a change for Parata into that wing defence position. They've brought back on Emily Nicol.
Oh, Leah Jones there, just goal defence.
Interesting change for Trisha Watts there, bringing Amanda Vary onto that wing defence position, a position that I'm not actually quite familiar with playing in.
Usually a centre.
Centre wing attack, so.
First time we see Amanda of this game against Scotland.
I actually thought Davis was doing a great job in that goal defence position, but obviously Trisha's decided to move it to the bench and bring Jones obviously into that goal defence position.
Jones, as we know, an extremely fit and able athlete, an international footballer and netballer.
Again, grit and determination, I think, is only going to win this game, and I do think that Jones exuberates everything of them qualities that you've just said.
4 goals between the host team and Scotland. Oh, great turnover there.
Oh. That's a frustrating ball from Chelsea Lewis to Susie Drain. You know, a bounce pass going to a centre driving at speed to the edge of the circle, and I think, yeah, not the pass selection actually let her down there.
Best decision making there. And Scotland, 35, 5 goals between the two teams. At this level, would you say those sort of bounce passes just across, intercepted too easily?
And you talk about 2 errors in a row or 2 shots in a row never missing, and you know, we've seen that. You know, Chelsea Lewis, she throws the ball away and then she drops the ball, and you know, them are critical scenarios where you've got to learn from one mistake, because against the top teams you don't get another opportunity.
But like you say, this is the perfect ground for all teams to.
What a great rebound from Shaw there.
Taveri across to Shaw.
I think what Vary has added to the Welsh side is energy, and I think she brings a great attacking defender through the court, and I think that's where Trish feels that she needs it, that ball moving a little bit with more speed going through.
Could Vary make all the difference here for Wales?
A 4-goal lead from Scotland, 35 to Wales 31. Obviously the positive for and strength for Scotland is that they've actually won every single quarter. They won the first quarter by 2 goals, they won the second quarter by 1 goal, so although it is a close match, they are actually winning these quarters as well, which is a real positive for Rata.
Wales will want to go into that last quarter, no doubt, level or ahead if they can.
I think I want them to go into the last quarter level or ahead. The other coaches don't agree with me sat on the bench, but
great stuff from Wales. Tracy Neville's dream could come true. A big come on from Georgia Rowe there. Long ball into Goodwin.
I think we've seen that strength from both teams, that early ball down to that goal shooter coming out the circle has been a real strength of getting that ball to circle.
What a shot from Goodwin.
Yeah. At this level, I think she has really stepped up, and I think you talk about the young guns and you think it's actually really pleasurable to see them developing, coming through the system and pathway, but then really stepping up to that international competition or that senior level of competition.
Wales, just 2 goals in it now, and just over 4 minutes.
Mary will be gutted. That's her first intercept of the game, and obviously been pulled up for contact.
Gallagher takes this for Scotland. Wales will want to. Wales have it.
Yeah, a bit of confusion from Gallagher, but she threw the ball at the post and threw it off again. So that is classed as a pass, but I think she expected that ball back.
They'll be disappointed. But Wales can do this with just under 4 minutes to go.
And I do like the style that Vari has brought to the team, the way she's penetrating down that court. I think sometimes with attacking defenders, they bring a real positive to the team, so they might not win as much ball, but what they do is they give you options through the court, and I think that is definitely what Wales need at the moment, because I think Scotland have really got the momentum of that defence.
Great vision there from Gibbons. So close now, just 1 goal in it. This is when the pressure starts to build.
Yeah. Goodwin. At the moment, I feel if we're looking at matches, I think she's actually taking that number 1 goal shooter spot at the moment.
All credit to Goodwin there. Fantastic work rates. The captain there again, just being called over.
Come on, Scotland!
I'm not sure if she's been cautioned there for persistent contact. Can't really see from the actions of Travis, the umpire.
Gallagher for Scotland.
Come on, Scotland!
Goal defence there, Gibbons called for obstruction.
I do think sometimes when there's flow of play, do you just let that go and then bring it up later? I know, Watts wants to obviously stop that early, but I do feel that sometimes you just lose the momentum and can sometimes go against you as a team, just keep stopping and starting the game. A turnover needed here by Wales, or a possession by Scotland. Crucial shot from Goodwin.
Never fails.
Get it back, Scotland!
Back to Jones. 3 goals in it now with under 2 minutes left.
Again, so much energy from Vary in that back position, and a position I'm not so familiar with Vary in, but she has really added something to this Welsh front line.
Crowd getting behind Wales there. It's Chelsea. Oh, intercepted.
Yeah, Lewis, why would you do a shooter-to-shooter ball there?
Is that a confidence thing?
I don't know. I think it just creates pressure for your team now, where you know you're having to recycle that ball, and she's an 85 to 90% shooter, and you just think, shoot the damn thing.
So tight here with 30 seconds on the clock.
In a further position than she was before. But what a great rebound from Rowe at this time.
Finishes the job.
And it's the Scotland centre pass. This could take them level into this quarter.
Get in this circle! Come on, Scotland!
Brownie finds McCleary. Oh.
You talk about grit and determination, and Jones throws herself at that one, literally. No contact.
And that's the last quarter left of this game. It's been so exciting, Tracy.
You say about your precious shots, you say about your coach pleasures rather than your coach killers, and I think Goodwin just, well done to the younger gun, nailing that last shot. A real confidence boost for Scotland going into that fourth quarter. And you see that they've levelled that quarter, Wales, but this is the match-winning quarter that Scotland and Wales both need, and with a 3-goal deficit now of Wales 37 and Scotland 40, a lot of hard work from Wales now going into this quarter.
Again, Scotland for the third quarter ahead. What can be done now for this last quarter?
It's an interesting thing to say here, Sarah, with a coach in this position, because do you go to freshen up a little bit of your team? And you've seen that I think Scotland have had a really good squad effort over these last 2 days of competition. So do you look to freshen up, or Scotland did have the momentum then? Do you look and reward that 7 and actually have the confidence and belief that they actually can come out here and seal the win? I think from Trish at the moment, it's whether she feels that them changes made. I do feel that Vary made a really good impact attacking wise in that Welsh lineup, so I think that change was really good, and it's whether she makes the difference between Llewellyn and Lewis, and who does she want to go into this last quarter with, who's going to give her what she wants, and who's going to nail them. We're talking crucial shots now, because I feel with Wales being the underdog, every single shot now is a crucial shot.
Talking about pressure, and it's all to play for here at the Sport Wales National Centre. Wales so close. Can they get those extra goals in place ahead of Scotland as we enter this last quarter of this game? A player of the game so far for you?
That's a very interesting one. And it's difficult, because I probably would say at this particular stage it would be Bethan Goodwin in that goal shooter for Scotland. Just at the end of the day, if they don't get the shots in, but yeah, I probably would say Bethan Goodwin. You obviously always choose the team that's ahead, and obviously who are winning. If it was for Wales at the moment, I think the most outstanding performance for me would probably be difficult one. I think looking at consistency, it probably would be Georgia Rowe at the moment. So I think the two shooters, I think this last quarter, who's going to get the upper hand, and at the moment I feel that Goodwin's got that upper hand.
As the players come on to the court in this last quarter, we have Emily Nicol to the bench, and we have Sam Murphy in at wing defence.
Yeah, so Parata looking at really freshening up her team, obviously bringing Murphy onto that wing defence position. And I think she did a really good job on Bethan Dyke in that first 3 quarters, and I think just a little bit of a rest, a little bit of a recoup, maybe some coaching pointers that she needs to come out and do. And
the officials getting ready to go into this final quarter. Remember, do get in touch with us using the hashtag #AnyOpen.
I think this is the quarter that we all wanted to see. And great ball from Lewis to Georgia Rowe into that circle.
Great start for the Welsh side.
Come on, Scotland!
That's the front position that Goodwin is a real strong point of hers, and it's whether Watts can get actually in that.
Come on, Scott. Keep on going.
Both teams working tirelessly for the win. Lewis there. Back to Very.
Oh, what a great defensive unit from Scotland there to get the 3 seconds. I do feel at the moment Wales in that instance were playing a little bit too wide and probably could just and needed a little bit of a drive from that shooter, but obviously Wilkes is obviously signposting to Georgia Rowe that that's actually where the opportunity for her to come through that middle and take that ball.
Timing just not there so far.
Come on, Scotland!
Wales with 38 goals, Scotland 42. To Gallagher. Back to Goodwin. Shot by Goodwin.
And we talk about the player of the match here, and Goodwin just in that third quarter shot 100%, 11 from 11. But again, in contest with Georgia Rowe at 10 from 10 in that other area. And like we said, Zara, I think it's which shooter's going to actually outperform it, because they're the key roles at the moment in these two particular teams.
Georgia Rowe
Come on, Scotland!
takes it to 39 for Wales. Just 4 goals between the two teams.
You'll probably notice that both Wales and Scotland are wearing the black armbands. We've obviously been informed that someone very close to the Welsh Netball and Sport Wales was unfortunate to lose his life yesterday, so this is just paying a little bit of respect to someone that's pretty close to the home nation here of Welsh Netball.
Lewis is out of that D. Mulherrin working hard to push her out. Just hesitating there, Rowe. Wasn't quite sure to take it from that far back.
Yeah, and Chelsea Lewis at the moment not really being an option for the centre court to be able to feed in, probably backing away, probably needs to drive a little bit more to try and create some more ball side option.
Umpire calls obstruction there.
Oh. We talk about frustration from Brownie then. Obviously Watt's not liking the way she took that penalty, and
sees a drain. Back to Jones. Looking for options, Wales here.
yeah, just needs to keep driving, early prep, take on that defender. Yeah, that's it, Chelsea. Probably, you see what she did then, Chelsea. You know, I think she's propping back to that circle a little bit too early, but what we saw then is she comes out and makes Mulheron play that one-on-one with Georgia Rowe, and you know, that's where she needs to be utilised. We talked about her playing in that deep position before.
Fantastic ball into Gallagher. Gallagher likes that. Thumbs up there.
Still 3 goals in it. Scotland lead 45-42.
10 minutes left.
Probably the most important 10 minutes of this game. So.
Wales still in this. Chelsea Lewis puts it through the net.
The Welsh supporters stood up here, hands on their mouths. I think this is probably the worst position to be in as a spectator from a Welsh fan at the moment.
It's the understatement here in the crowds. Everyone on edge. Oh, great rebound.
Yeah, Beth and Goodwin is saying, don't give me a second chance. I might miss my first one, but I don't miss my second one.
Come on, Scotland! She's working it under! Keep her there!
Critical shot from Lewis, and she sinks that in.
Come on, Scotland!
2 goals in it. Scotland lead 46-44.
Oh, Gibbons.
Come on! Keep it going, Scotland!
Very, just.
Yeah, I think that was the only option Very had, the diagonal ball across the court, but a little bit of a misunderstanding between her and Drain.
Lovely ball from Gallagher there. Goodwin on fire.
Yeah, and obviously that takes them to full goal lead with their centre pass, a great position for Scotland to be in.
This is one of the tightest games I have witnessed here at Netball Group Open Championships.
The real advantage for Scotland here now is, and for the competition, is that if they take the lead today, they've got Northern Ireland tomorrow, and the winner and outcome of that game will take that second position, depending on goal averages and obviously England's result against Wales.
Wales
Come on, Scotland!
need this now. Just keeping hold of possession. Risky there, Tracy, maybe from Chelsea Lewis a little bit.
It is. Travis obviously not liking the way the goal defence was marking Georgia Rowe, but I think Georgia Rowe needs to be a little bit stronger in there because you cannot depend on umpire decision.
on the edge of the D here.
I think this is one thing that Vary doesn't offer Wales, that Davis and Jones did, is just that speed of that ball down to that circle edge. And again, we talked about positives and negatives of that, and it's about winning ball. And sometimes in this game, particularly when you fall down, so although she had an advantage through the attacking, it's who's the doggiest defenders who can try to get some opportunities for their attacking players.
Brownie looking for options.
Oh! Good win, contact on the goalkeeper.
Wales need to use this
now.
Come on, Wales.
Come on, Sterling!
Secret Welsh fan here, Zara.
I'm actually part Scottish, so I'm both. I just love a close game.
I think if Gallagher had just maintained her position then. Oh, Travis has brought it back to, obviously, contact. Lewis needs to get a shoot. Oh, that's a great shooter ball. And shot selection from Chelsea Lewis. Pressure shot from Rowe. What confidence from Rowe.
Just over 5 minutes left of this final quarter. Tracy, I'm gripped.
Oh, Watts is not liking the way Shaw and Goodwin are playing on each other. And obviously he's asking them to sort it out.
Come on, Sterling!
It's all a learning curve, as we said earlier.
Goodwin's probably that innocent at this level, not understanding what that means, but she does a little smile. Oh! Great shooter ball. And Joe needs this to bring them back into this game. 2 goals in it. Scotland now lead 49-47.
Umpire just calling time again. Communication between the 2 umpires.
We're only a bit frustrated about having that ball brought back to that centre. We talk about Wales losing the game by 1 on Thursday evening against Northern Ireland, and they're in a position now where can they take this game and close out this game. So it'll be interesting to see which team actually builds this momentum and can actually finish this game off.
They won't want another upset.
No. 4 minutes 45 on the clock. A crucial centre pass for Drain.
Come on, girls!
Oh, turned over by Scotland at that crucial moment.
Unsure why Drain wanted to release that quick pass then to Rowe, particularly how the defenders were marking her.
Just shows the levels of the pressure that these teams are under, are putting on each other.
A pause Wales needs to do now just to regain themselves.
Wales trail by 3 goals.
I have to say at the moment, Zara, Scotland do truly deserve. We don't talk about deserve to win, but I really do think they've really worked hard, and you can see in their body language and as a team that they really want this win today.
They're proving that as the goals go in. Another one from Goodwin there. Oh, intercepted by Mulheron.
And you wonder how the English Super League has really supported Scotland in being able to improve their performance at Netball Europe, the experience and the development of their players over the last season with the Sirens.
Well left.
I really don't see Wales getting back into this game now. 3 minutes left on the clock. Scotland lead 52-47.
Gallagher grabs that, snatches it. To Brownie, the captain.
We talk about who's going to win this game, Rowe or Goodwin, and I really do feel that Goodwin has won this game.
Come on, Scotland!
And you don't tend to isolate one player in this, because I think there's been some outstanding individual performances, and as a team I think Scotland have really come together, but Goodwin has really stepped up. I would like to see if they can maintain possession for 22 minutes 20.
Scotland just extending that lead. Wales 47-54. Oh, great ball to Rowe.
Yeah. Early feed we talked about, something they need to probably maximise earlier on in the game. Probably one pass too late from the Welsh netball team.
Goodwin and Gallagher just working so well in that D together.
Yeah, and even McCleary and Brown, you know, I think they've never stopped working in this game. And with 1 minute 33 on the clock and Scotland leading by 7 goals, I just really don't see
Wales will be disappointed with that miss.
And you can tell that from the reaction and the body language of the coaches on the bench, I think we can definitely see who believes they've won this game.
Scotland.
And who haven't.
Great control, taking it down the court. Gallagher, some fantastic shooting as well this game.
Oh. What a great ball, early ball through to Goodwin, and they're just building with confidence in the last 2 minutes. Scotland are. The smiles on the coaches' faces, Leslie MacDonald and Gail Parata.
Just this last 50 seconds or so. The crowd here are on their feet.
And what a great competition game for Scotland and Northern Ireland tomorrow, to go out and really compete for either that number 2 silver medal position, or even, depending on our result, England netballs against Wales tomorrow, that number 1 spot.
Just remaining seconds now of this last quarter.
And I really do feel that this is probably the first time at a Netball Europe that Wales have lost to 2 home nations in Northern Ireland and Scotland, so Trish Wilcox will be extremely disappointed with her performance currently at this Netball Europe.
And that's it. Scotland win the game against Wales, 49-58.
Total celebration to Scotland, and thoroughly well deserved to their team and to Gail Parata and Leslie MacDonald. You can see the grit, the determination, the confidence, and how much they really wanted that performance, and building on from their win against England on Friday. I really do think we talk about building performance, and I really do think they've built on from that going into this game.
Scotland in contention for that silver, bronze.
I'd like to say they're in contention for that silver position, but for Netball Europe, the competition tomorrow and the game tomorrow is an absolute must-see. And you see them now in the team huddle, Scotland jumping around, the elation, the fatigue on the faces of their teammates, but what an outstanding performance from them, and thoroughly, truly well deserved.
A thrilling game. Scotland take the win. Thank you, Tracy, it's been a pleasure. And thank you at home for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We'll be back at 6 p.m. for the final game on day 3 with more live coverage when England takes on Fiji. Goodbye from all of us here in Cardiff.